It doesn't matter what I say or anybody on the internet says. There's a large percentage of people that think the housing market cannot sustain what it currently has, and there has to be some kind of correction, or dare I say, some kind of crash. So in today's video, I want to talk to all those folks who are hoping and praying for something to happen. And let's talk about what you need to have in your arsenal for you to be prepared for any kind of market adjustment. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking 15, 14 years ago when there was a market crash, when prices dropped really low. And I want to see when houses were like $40,000 to $50,000 to $100,000, what was going on? What kind of money did you need? What did you need to be successful? So we can really get a good idea of what you need to prepare. Because once again, I'm here to help everybody. If you think the market's in a crash, let me help you by getting you prepared. So the first thing that I need you to absolutely be prepared for is you're gonna need a lot of cash. I know, it doesn't matter if the housing market's doing amazing. It doesn't matter if the housing market is doing terrible. You're only going to be victorious in the market if you have a lot of cash prepared. Because guess what? You think the cash buyers were insane when houses were really cheap because of the interest rates? Well, they weren't really cheap, but when that whole boom happened during the COVID bubble, of the housing bubble, you think a lot of cash buyers are in the market now. It was a whole nother ball game during this time. Let me explain. So here I picked out 2010, and we can see between January 1st to December 31st, there was approximately 32,000 houses. Well, actually, hold on. Let me take out the bedrooms, the single family. Let's just do everything. There was approximately 90,096 places or homes that were sold in that specific year. Out of 90,000, can you guess how much were cash? 37,735. So approximately about 41 to 42% of houses sold cash. In a market like this, you're going to be competing with some heavy cash buyers. Now, as usual, where investors like to hit or devour, if you will, are the single family home, first time home buyer market. That's where they buy the majority of their investments. So if we just focus in here, let's just find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and around that time, I'm sure we could get it like between what, 150, 160 around there. So during this time, that was like a very nice house. I know, let's all cry together. It's terrible. We can see here, like, let's just pick out this one here. This one sold cash, right? And we can see here, you'll see that it was originally listed at $159 and it sold for $170,000 cash. So this idea that the housing market is suddenly going to save home buyers and it's going to bring peace and prosperity into the galaxy.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
It's just not true. What happens is when houses get cheap, it brings in the vultures, right? To come and peck the bodies of the housing market. And you're going to have to be in a situation where you're going to have to compete against other cash buyers. Guess what? If you're a FHA, a VA, a conventional loan, and you're competing against these houses against someone that has cash, which odds are, according to the numbers, 40 to 42% of houses are going to have a cash buyer, then it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough battle for you to have if you're not prepared. So number one thing you need to absolutely have is cash in the bank. Cash in the bank, just so you can be in there. Now, of course, 60% of houses did not sell for cash. There's a good chance, I should say, that you'll have it to be able to get a loan. But a lot of you guys were really discouraged during that COVID bubble because it was just so difficult. Like a lot of you guys only made like 1 or 2, 3 offers and then you backed out of the market because it was too insane. Even though cash sales were like 30 to 35% then, there was this whole overwhelming feeling. You're going to get that 4 out of 6 times. Odds are out of 5 houses you see, 3 out of 5-ish around there are going to be lost to a cash buyer. What you can do now, regardless if you're buying with market adjust or buying sooner, is start saving like a maniac. Because if you're a firm believer, the market will adjust and you believe there will be a similar trend to what happened 10, 14 years ago, you need to have cash to be successful. Now, honestly, if I had a time machine, I would go back and I would try to buy as much suburban areas, right? Just as much as possible. Get the ones that aren't as nice to get a lot of work, but still that time machine is great and all, but I would still need a lot of cash to be successful in that. The second thing you're going to have to be prepared for is you're going to have a lot of time. And here's why. There's something called a short sale. let me explain to you how a short sale works. So the owner is underwater, the meaning that the house is worth a lot more than what their mortgage is. Let's say their mortgage is like $250,000, but the house is worth like $150,000. So they're about $100,000 underwater. So what they're going to do is they're going to get an offer. So they're going to put the house on the market, get a lower offer, present all the comps and all the information to their bank and say, please let us go. Please let us go. You're going to take a market value offer. Someone's going to, yes, you're going to have to let go of the loan. You're not going to get your $100,000, but you at least get something. Please let us go. Most of the time, the banks would say, fine, you can go. And this was great for the buyer because they got to, their credit wasn't as severely impacted. Buyer got a better deal, etc. And then they could buy within like 2 years instead of like 3 to 7 years or something like that. But the problem with that is they take a really long time. So you're going to need a lot of patience and you're going to need a lot of time when you're buying, because odds are if there is some kind of major market adjustment, we should expect the majority of listings to either be a short sale of some kind. Not everybody's just going to foreclose on their house and let the bank take over. A lot of people are going to step in and try to prevent it with short sales. In addition to short sales, there were also a lot of REOs, like a lot of lender-owned properties, which, yeah, like HUD properties and whatnot. I mean, they don't take as much time, but you still need a lot of patience with them because odds are they have their own systems and their own processes and things take a little longer. Like I knew some REO properties that took 2 to 3 months. So you were going to need extra time. Let's just do a quick little math here. Out of 90,000 houses, how many of them, if you were to guess, were a short sale, a lender-owned property, and REO? Take a guess. Out of 90,000. If you guess 55,000, which is approximately 61% of all houses, then you cheated because somehow you knew. But yeah, 60% of properties were all somehow bank owned or something like that, which the thing is yes, in a major market adjustment or a lot of banks are going to be involved. A lot of banks are going to be involved with ownership of the properties, getting rid of them at a low price. That's just what happens. You're going to need time. And also I would add this to the equation. So let's bring up for the second point again and add, plus you're going to need more money. On top of the cash you're going to need to secure the house. A lot of these lender-owned properties, they don't do any repairs. You're getting the house as is, and trust me, a lot of them are in rough condition. People take stuff before they leave or they get foreclosed on, and it's definitely really rough. So you're going to need extra money in addition to that. Last but not least, this one's a little more in the other realm. You're going to need a lot of grit. Check this out. Let's get rid of this. So we're going back to the 90,000 numbers, right? So 90,000 places sold in 1 year. This is a lot. Can you guess how many sold in 2023? Take a guess. Just take a guess. Go ahead. I'll wait. Get a guess? 72,000. When the pandemic hit, the housing boom happened. Let's say 2021. How many houses do you think sold? 110,000, right? It was insane. So it's not going to be as crazy as it was during the COVID boom, but it's going to be crazier than a normal market. You're going to have grit. It means you're going to have to go out and look at a bunch of houses and you're going to get your heart broken a few times and not get emotionally attached. And I'm telling you this because a lot of you guys, even though you say you get it, you don't get it. You go fall in love with every other house. It's hard. It's very difficult. It's a really emotional process, but you're going to have a lot of fortitude to say no to the right houses and just like literally have it consume your life while you're looking at houses. Now, here's my thing. Do I think they're going to drop as low as the $40,000 to $100,000 range again? I don't think that's happening. If there is a market adjustment, do I see prices dropping? Yes, but not that drastic, right? I think there's a lot of things in place that are going to prevent things from happening, including the greed of many people, which we'll save for another video. But either way, if you are in the field of, hey, the market's going to crash big and I want to make it big, these are the 3 things you're going to have to prepare for. So I wish you the best of luck in saving your money. I wish you the best of luck in making sure you have the time and energy to when these houses come out. And let's, hopefully if that goes our way, let's all make a lot of money and hopefully the investors get completely pooped on and they lose all their money, right? So if you want to join a really great community of great people just like yourself, where you can chat with me or them, join our Discord community, links in the description. And for anything else, all my links are in the description as well. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. YouTube thinks you should watch this video next, so go check it out. Yeah, cool. All right, see you guys.